Phylicia Ayers Allen was born on June 19, 1948 in Houston, Texas. Born to her father, Dr. Andrew Arthur Allen, a highly successful orthodontist as well as a thriving entrepreneur, as well as her mother, Vivian Ayers Allen, a well-accomplished Pulitzer Prize-nominated artist, poet, playwright, scholar, and publisher. Phylicia also had one brother and two sisters, one who will be famously known as Debbie Allen. Phylicia and Debbie grew up in a deeply segregated time in America, and two young girls who will ultimately become two of the most iconic entertainers in America were not even allowed to go to ballet class, certain restaurants, or even a movie. Debbie Allen recounts to the LA Times that Vivian was not having that. Despite the harsh realities of living in a country that did not love or appreciate them, she always made sure that they felt special, loved, and deeply appreciated. This would prove to go a long way in nurturing the creative talent and force that Phylicia would ultimately become. Phylicia's parents would end up divorcing at the age of 6 in 1954, and things would get a little ugly when Phylicia's mom fired a warning shot at her father for allegedly trying to run a guest out of her home. After gaining custody of her three children, Vivian Ayers would make a very bold decision to actually leave America and move to Mexico in search of a desegregated life and a better lifestyle for her children. This would expose Phylicia, Debbie to a much better lifestyle in which they felt much more appreciated in a segregated America. Vivian wanted her children to live free and feel confident. This was something that they could definitely feel at an early age.
My mother is like the true Renaissance woman, ahead of her time always. Yeah, we were wearing natural hair when we were little, and they were talking about, child, get the hot comb out. You need that nappy and that's pressed.
And if you're one of the many men who fell in love with listening to Claire Huxtable speak Spanish on the Cosby Show, it was growing up in Mexico and being exposed to a different culture that actually cultivated that want to learn a new language.
She wanted to go to Mexico because she had tired of this racial segregation and the limitations in America, and she wanted something new for us and for herself. Some place where being black was beautiful long before anybody clenched and raised a fist. That's right. And the people would look at us when we walked down the street and they'd say, "Ay, negrita. Ay, negrita."
Phylicia would go on to attend HBCU Howard University, where she would study theater. She would later graduate in 1970 with a bachelor's degree in fine arts. Upon graduating from Howard University, Phylicia would become a part of the legendary and groundbreaking Negro Ensemble Company. At a time where it was very difficult for black actors and actresses to secure work, the Negro Ensemble Company was groundbreaking in helping to start and nurture the careers of Denzel Washington, Ruby Dee, Angela Bassett, Debbie Allen, Lawrence Fishburne, as well as many others. But the acting industry is very difficult to break into, and Phylicia moving to New York, being on her own, living at a YWCA was enough to send her into tears, once going 2 years without finding any acting work. But still she kept grinding with the circle of up-and-coming actors she befriended. She would also be joined by her sister Debbie 2 years later. While working as a typist and securing small roles, Phylicia would land roles as first lead understudy in The Wiz, as well as Sheryl Lee Ralph's first lead understudy in Dreamgirls. But once Lee Ralph left, it was second lead understudy that got the role. Same thing that happened at The Wiz. That's when Phylicia's inner Vivian kicked in. She had had enough.
And what I heard myself tell the director was, I'm not an understudy. I knew that when I came. I'm a leading lady, and it's time for me to realize myself in my profession. I heard myself say that. And he looked at me and said, you're right, you are a leading lady, good luck.
Phylicia also got married in 1972 to a dentist named William Bowes Jr. The couple also birthed a son. They later got divorced in 1975. In 1978, Phylicia would go on to marry Victor Willis, the original lead singer of the Village People, who she met during her run on The Wiz, where they both had roles. In 1978, Phylicia also released a music album, which was a disco tribute to the life of Josephine Baker. Her husband, Victor Willis, also co-wrote the album. They would ultimately get divorced in 1982. In 1983, Phylicia would land a regular role as Courtney Wright on the daytime soap opera One Life to Live, which would be short-lived for the role of a lifetime.
Well, are you glad you came?
Oh, yes. Thank you very much for the invitation.
thought this would be a nice way for us to try starting over again. And I have made you angry already just by saying that.
Oh, yes, you certainly have. I really look mad, don't I?
But while being on the show One Life to Live, Phylicia's father would pass away from a heart attack. This would of course leave her devastated and not wanting to love.
And I remember standing there, promising myself that I was never going to fall in love, ever, because this separation is too painful. And nothing was important anymore. And then I looked at my son, and I realized that life is important.
Phylicia's son would give her much needed inspiration and remind her of the beauty of life that she once looked for as a child. And for a person that so many people regard as one of the most beautiful women to grace the face of this earth, did you know that Phylicia did not actually feel beautiful herself until the age of 11 when she found the spotlight?
When was the first time you felt beautiful, Phylicia?
When I was 11 years old, I had been selected to narrate a musical program for all of the elementary schools in Houston, Texas. For the first time in my life, I stood in a spotlight. And you know, you can't see. All you can see is the light.
Light, safety.
Well, all I could see was the light, and I knew my lines, and I didn't have to look, so I just talked to the light. And it was so comfortable. It was so great. And it felt wonderful. What I was experiencing was the beauty of communication from within one's own self.
In 1984, Phylicia would land a career-defining role that would change her life as well as the lives of millions of families in America. You see, Claire Huxtable was more than just Rudy and Theo's mom. She was my mom, your mom. We all got fussed out by Claire. I dare you to show me one TV household mom that will hold a candle to Claire Huxtable. And please do not bring me Mrs. Brady. She's a lovely woman with a lovely family, but nobody is touching Claire Huxtable. That's a universal fact. The on-screen chemistry between Phylicia and Bill was magical. It almost felt real. The show ran for 8 seasons and reigned #1 for most of that. It dominated American television. In 1985, Phylicia found love for a 3rd time and was married to former NFL receiver Ahmad Bradshaw, who was also a sports broadcaster at the time.
I'd like to take this time today to try to make this a better day. Bobby, I got something I want you to do for me. There's a lady that I'm in love with, and you know the lady as Claire Huxtable on the Cosby Show. What I'd like you to do is dispatch somebody. She's there in New York at the Macy's Day Parade. Now, this isn't all serious now. I would like to send this message to her. Phylicia, would you marry me? Would you get back to me, Bobby, on that answer?
You're not kidding, are you, Ahmad?
I am dead serious.
You have proposed on national television to Phylicia Ayers Allen, is that right?
Either I will be the happiest person in the world or the biggest turkey on national television.
Their highly publicized marriage unfortunately ended when the couple divorced in early 2001. After her long, successful run on The Cosby Show, Phylicia would stay busy as she would make many appearances on television, films, and she even returned to Broadway. In 2008, she would win an NAACP award for her role in The Raisin in the Sun. And in 2021, she was even named Dean of Fine Arts by her alma mater, HBCU Howard University, but did find herself in a little bit of controversy whenever she took up for her former co-star Bill Cosby. She did offer a formal apology. So there you have it. An amazing, super talented, beautiful woman who is beloved by many people, many hearts of Americans, especially young black men like me. You know, we all love Phylicia Rashad. We respect her talent. Everything about this woman is amazing. And we wish Phylicia the best always. Please keep shining. You represent black people so amazingly well. You and your family. This is Care from Life is Lyrical. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you guys love what you see. I promise there's so much more coming for you. I appreciate you guys. Always love you guys for tuning in. Thank you.